Hello and good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Gold and Silver Club end of week review for the 22nd of February 2013, presented by myself, Phil Carr and Nick Cowsey at the Gold and Silver Club. Okay, today we will be reviewing the latest developments in the commodities markets. We'll be analysing the week's performance. So during this live session, we will cover an end-of-week summary for gold, silver, and the commodity currencies. We'll certainly be looking at the top trades of the week, live market commentary and technical analysis, and we will be looking at the week ahead, so key events looking forward, and of course answering any questions you may have. So it's been a very eventful week in the gold and silver market, and indeed the markets, forex markets overall, so lots of great content to cover today. Okay, so the big news this week from February 18th through to today has been the big, first of all, the big price drop. So gold has, it rebounds after the Fed minutes, has rebounded today and yesterday, but it was knocked down to a 7-month lows. So the reason for this, gold dropped down to $1,564 an ounce from $1,617 on Wednesday. That was a decline by 3.2% after the Federal Reserve minutes. They raised speculations around whether or not the Fed would continue with its current quantitative easing program. So we saw quite a knock already last week from gold, especially China on their lunar week-long holiday. And we saw the Chinese market come back on Sunday evening. We did get a bit of a lift with the gold and silver market, only very short-lived though. So we saw then quite a knockdown. Gold prices did recover just yesterday and edging back above $1,565 an ounce as lower prices sent some bargain hunters on a bit of a buying spree yesterday. So we'll have a look at that very shortly. Essentially, the FOMC minutes really provided traders with several highly lucrative opportunities to go short both gold and some of the commodity currencies as well. So we look at those such as euro, the Aussie dollar against the USD for some really significant profits. We'll show you exactly the trade setups we had there. We highlight the top trades of the week. Obviously, the big question at the moment, again, is will gold prices change course and rally or continue to downtrend? So we're going to look at some of the key major levels that we have on gold right now, what to be looking at in terms of areas of support, areas of resistance, and also the commodity currency. So there's a lot to have a look at. We've had a lot going on just the last few days, and volatility really is a trader's best friend. These volatile moves create a lot of opportunities in the markets to profit. Okay, so just a little bit about myself and Nick Cowsey, the Gold and Silver Club. So I'm Phil Carr, professional trader, trainer and speaker. I'm the co-founder and director of the Gold and Silver Club. I specialize in teaching people how to make money from trading the biggest financial markets in the world. So that's forex, gold, silver and oil. I've trained thousands of individuals to become independent traders, successfully manage their own investment portfolio. I'm responsible for the research and development of the Gold and Silver Club trademark strategies, have a proven track record of generating returns for traders. Regular contributor to a number of financial publications and speak about numerous trading seminars, webinars and workshops. That's a little bit about myself. And Nick Cowsey, who's on the call with me at the moment, helping to answer any of your questions that you may have. Nick Cowsey, he's a professional trader, investment analyst and speaker. He began his career within private wealth management in 2002 before he made the transition into proprietary trading. So prior to co-founding the Gold and Silver Club with myself, Nick spent over 5 years coaching professional fund managers and traders internationally for some of the world's top-tier hedge funds and investment banks. It's through his first-hand relationship with some of the world's most successful traders he's also discovered the formula, mindset and tools that give any individual the definitive edge to trade in any economy. Also regularly writes for a number of global business and financial publications and appears frequently on television. So here's ourselves actually on financial television just recently on Dukascopy Swiss TV, just giving our insights into the gold and silver markets and just some recent global press we've been in just relating to gold and silver. So that's a bit of background on myself and Nick at the Gold and Silver Club. So you are in safe hands this morning. Okay, so we're going to move across to the live markets very shortly. We're going to look at the top trades of the week as well. I just want to get your to gauge your attention on gold at the moment, because we are we're coming up to some interesting levels just this morning. So the current gold price, if you want to look at your charts at the moment, the price right now this morning is $1,580 per ounce. So those of you who were on last Friday's webinar will remember this time last Friday we're at $1,626 an ounce. So we've had quite a big drop just in the last week or so. So these volatile moves create lots of opportunities. So the top trades really that we've had over the last week or so, in fact this is a seasonal gold trend here. This is a chart. Actually, we'll cover that in the actual in the live trade setups, and I'll show you. But in terms of seasonality, we are moving into we know this is moving into a weaker time of year for the metals, especially as in Asia that the wedding season is coming to an end, which is typically starts a little bit of weakness in the metals moving in to spring. But we'll cover that very shortly. Okay, so the top trades of the week using the Gold and Silver Club signature trading strategies. We had a really nice shorting opportunity on Australian US dollar. You can see there quite a very clear level of resistance on the chart there. You can see we've actually we've come down and we've hit our profit target. So the entry on that was 1.0362, exit was 1.0245, and that was a profit of 117 pips on the trade. So risk on that 24 pips. Each lot we traded 240 USD, and the profit was that on that was 117 pips. That's more of a swing trade, and that was a 4-to-1 risk to reward on the trade. So a really nice sell-off on Australian US dollar and really good risk to reward on that. Gold. So gold, we did have an opportunity, and in fact, a couple of our traders on the call at the moment took advantage of this. Did certainly spot this setup. So we had the price was selling off quite significantly. We had a bit of a bounce on Monday after the Chinese markets came back after the Lunar Year holiday, and we saw the price rally back up to 1616. It was a key price action level, key Fibonacci level at that level. The price really couldn't get above that. It was really struggling, so pretty good risk to reward on that, and the price did sell off and came down to that key level that we were looking at, potentially expecting some support on that level, which but it was a good profit taking level. So from entry of 1616, the price did come down to 1,586, so it was a nice 295 point trade on that, risk 40 points. So each lot traded was 500 USD for a reward of 295 points, or 2,950 USD. So a good 6-to-1 risk to reward ratio on that short sell trade on gold. New Zealand USD also followed suit. So you all know, who've been on our previous calls, the correlations that we get within these markets. So if gold is selling off, you'll often see that follow through in Australian USD and New Zealand US dollar. Not necessarily at the same time, but if there's good setups available, they are certainly very tradable. So here is the position that we had on New Zealand USD. So that was an entry at 0.8469, exit at 0.8320. Again, that was a swing trade. So you can see there we have 25 pip risk on the trade for 250 USD on each lot traded, and the reward there 159 pips in terms of profit. 6-to-1 risk to reward, came down to our profit target, hit that with dead accuracy actually, and that was the nice short trade on New Zealand US dollar. And New Zealand dollar Japanese yen as well, later in the week, provided also a nice shorting setup as well, and that was at 79.25. You can see they're highlighted in blue the trade setup where it's come down and hit our take profit target. So on that was a profit 166 pips for a risk of 29 pips, profit of 166 pips. So risk to reward of 5-to-1 on that trade. And finally, this was just yesterday actually, we had this was really taking a while to actually come to fruition, and then suddenly we had a nice spike just in the early evening. So this was an entry at 1.0233. You can see that highlighted in blue at the bottom of the chart. We've had an exit at 1.0294. Just that next price action level above. This was a quick day trade, so we've only just needed to risk 16 pip risk. Each lot was 160 USD per lot for a reward of 62 pips, so 620 USD for a nice 4-to-1 risk to reward ratio, just in a day trade in and out the same day there, and you can keep a longer term trade on a swing trade position as well, targeting that the resistance level right at the top there. So I'll go through that shortly on our live trading. So lots of opportunities to be the beginning of the week going short the markets, and also some long opportunities. So we'll see what really the next week has in store, possibly what today has in store. Lots of news coming out next week as well. Obviously, non-farm payroll next Friday as well. So there's plenty to cover over the next 15 to 20 minutes or so. So let's go and have a look at the live markets now. I'm just going to switch my screens across, guys. So let's just bear with me whilst I do this. Right, so we're looking at the moment at the Australian US dollar. I mean, that's had a really nice move. So here we've had opportunities essentially on Australian US dollar at the moment. What you want to be looking at here, let's just get the shapes for you so you can draw this. This is a key level of resistance here, okay? This is about the 1.03725 level here. Key level of resistance you want to bear in mind, where we haven't been able to break through. There is still selling pressure on Australian US dollar. It is still below all its key moving averages. We are getting a bit of a bounce at the moment from this level of support, where you can see it has been supported several times in the past. So if we actually just draw this, you've got a level of support just to the bottom left of the screen here. We've come up to test that level of support earlier on in February, and just last night actually we tested that level of support as well. Nice setup on that trade. You can see here how the first profit target has been reached on a long position. So in terms of the long there, you can see that's actually up to circa, it's around about the 70 pip mark now, and we would be interested to see if we're now going to see this market, Australian US dollar, be able to put in a rally towards this level 1.03725, and see if that again offers setups in terms of sell short opportunities. So we'll be looking at Australian US dollar market very closely. So those are the key levels that we've been looking at, and we've certainly had some nice opportunities to sell short and go long. And in fact, correlated to that, you want to look at Australian Japanese yen. God, that was beautiful yesterday in terms of the setup we had here. I mean, this is very basic sort of technical analysis. You can have a look here. You would want to have more, ideally, lighthouse indicator really to confirm that, which we used at the Gold and Silver Club. But here is one of the things you want to look at. Obviously, key level of support here, Australian Japanese yen, which is quite obviously correlated to Australian US dollar. Key levels of support and resistance, and you can see we actually had a fantastic risk to reward on this trade, and you can see the price just bounced last night, and we've had a really nice move to the upside on Australian dollar Japanese yen. So again, you want to just take note of these key levels. So support level 95.14, resistance level 96.93. We're moving between those levels at the moment, so that's very interesting to look at. We're just going to have a quick look actually on the Euro USD, because Euro USD is coming up. We had obviously some weakness. The sell-off in gold and silver, we do still see that correlation with the euro. Obviously the US dollar gained a lot of strength in the last week, so other currency pairs paired against the USD, most of the, well, all the majors, they've all had a sell-off as well. So the euro here coming into a level of support. If you go back to December time on your time frame, you can see there's still definitely weakness in this market on the euro. You can see it broke through a key level of support around 1.32616 just earlier on in the week. So interesting level to be watching on the euro at the moment. Obviously further weakness in this market could indicate some further downside for the metals as well. And we're going to just, with that in mind, actually New Zealand US dollar moved really nice. It's got a trend line which is following quite nicely in terms of support at the moment. Bounced off that level yesterday. We did break out to really 18-month highs just about 10 days ago. Actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it's about a week and a half ago that we actually broke out to those all-time highs. That move did not manage to, the move higher didn't manage to actually break out to new highs and consolidate above that high. We actually just had a return back to this trend of higher lows. So we've had some interesting moves on New Zealand US dollar, so obviously key levels to look at on this market will again be this level of resistance, where we've had that level of resistance play out throughout the last 18 months, tested about 4 times now. We had a breakout, which bit of a fake breakout there at the 0.8469 levels, to keep that level in mind, and the level of support here, which is being supported again. You've got basic trend lines there just from the higher lows, and you can see the level of support around 0.8320. So we'll be looking at those very closely, getting a bit of a lift on this market as well, as is gold. In fact, gold, you want to, the way we're viewing gold at the moment, we've still got a lot of weakness on gold. Gold is below all its key moving averages, which is important to note. We are generally tending to see, obviously we've had quite a nice lift from the lows that we put in midweek, which is around, I think the actual key low there, let's have a look, that was 1554. We are going to be keeping a very close eye to see if we're going to see, you can see we're coming up to a level of resistance at the moment, 1586, key price action level there. Okay, you can see we just had that key level. So we want to see really whether on gold we are going to, one, see a breakout. If we can break out these levels and go back up to around the 1660, 1626 area. We also want to be very mindful that if these levels now, we're going to be looking potentially, you might be a lot of, just from the analysis we've done at the Gold and Silver Club, we could see more selling pressure. So if the price does manage to rally back to the 1616, 1626, it could be an opportunity for more short sellers to come into the market and push this level down. We're going to be looking at the 1530 level as really a line in the sand for a very important level of support, which wasn't broken throughout 2012, tested several times. If that level of support was to be broken, you'd get a lot of stop losses hit and a big move down. If that level is held around the 1520 to 1530 level, you would potentially expect some bargain hunters to come into the market around those sort of levels. So at the moment, around the 1580 level, for us, we're keeping a close eye on it. We want to see if the market is going to be able to rally back to the early 1600s, see if there's going to be any strength to that rally, behind that rally. Probably a lot of the news which is going to come out next week, the fundamentals, is going to be an important part in whether gold is going to be able to now put in a bit of a recovery rally on bargain hunting, or we're just going to see selling, again, selling pressure as the market rallies to key levels, as more institutions and funds, if they jump on and try and just capitalize on the weakness of gold at the moment. Silver bounced off a key level just yesterday, and that was a key price action level. You can see silver is in this downtrend on the shorter term time frame. That's pretty evident to see that we've actually got a downtrend at the moment on silver. The overall market on silver, if you go back on the daily chart, has been in a downtrend since about September 2012. After QE3, we had a big spike over the course of about a week or two going into early October, and then since then the market has been in a downtrend, and we're seeing that play out also on the shorter term. Actually, no, this is actually going, you can see this on my chart at the moment, we're in weekly time frame. You can see we've actually bounced off a key price action level, which is at 28.30, and that is actually with real precision there. So if we put this into the daily time frame, that's pretty accurate. Again, these are fantastic indicators. We've got here is just part of our lighthouse indicator that we use at the Gold and Silver Club. You can see there where the price has just bounced right off a trend line as well, and we've got that confirmation from a key price action level. We've had a bit of a lift from there. Again, we're going to be cautious on silver. We're going to see whether this rally, relief rally, can be sustained, or whether we're just going to see more buying pressure as the market gets a little bit of a relief on short sellers taking profit and bargain hunters really coming into that market. Now, pound dollar, really interesting pound dollar. We came down and we've tested this very key level support. So this key level of support here has really been in place since December 2010. So best part of about over 2 years now, and we did spike. We spiked lower, but also you want to bear in mind we're on the weekly time frame at the moment. If we put it on the daily, and we just shift this chart to the left, you can see here the sort of the candlestick patterns we're putting in there. You've got quite a clear hammer or dragonfly doji on that on the daily time frame. So obviously some buying has now come into the market around about this level, and we are tending to, if I put it back onto the weekly time frame here, we are certainly seeing the market quite range bound on pound dollar at the moment. So we're tending to see seems to be at the moment anyway, unless this gets broken significantly, we're tending to see this area as a buy zone for those probably swing traders, longer term traders. We are seeing the upper level of this channel as the level of resistance here, where you're getting profit taking and sell shorts coming again. So pound dollar has really been keeping that trend for the best part of about 2 years now. So pound dollar looking very interesting. We did actually get a break through that key price action level, but it may have been a knee-jerk reaction. Stops got hit, and now buyers are coming into the market. So interested to see how that market is going to play out. And let's move across to USD Canadian dollar. Had a breakout this week, which you can see there we've broken through some price action levels. For those of you who are regularly on our webinars, and those of you who are quite savvy on these markets, you will know that USD Canadian dollar often moves the inverse to gold, silver, and the Australian USD and New Zealand USD. So when those markets are going down, you typically tend to see USD CAD going up, and we have had that breakout this week, particularly with strength in the US dollar and also with the weakness of gold and silver. So we've got a bit of a breakout there, and nothing too much more to report on USD Canadian dollar at the moment. I mean, we've got a lot of strength in this market. It's above all its key moving averages as well. So we'll be potentially looking to see if we're going to get a pullback to these pullback to support. So and potentially that might present more buying opportunities within this market on pullbacks if it just continues to rally, which it seems to be doing at the moment. And just we're going to have a quick look on the Japanese yen currencies. USD Japanese yen is moving very much sideways at the moment. Had a really big rally for the beginning of January 2013, and we are tending to move sideways. So we're seeing just this level and support and resistance offer some opportunities at the moment on this market. As I was showing you earlier on, Australian Japanese yen, really nice setup yesterday, and that's moving really well. So watching out for this key level of resistance at 96.93 on this market. Okay, but this is very much a clean chart. Really, what you want on your charts is something similar to this, which gives you a lot more detail on your charts. You'll know profit taking levels, you'll have all the key price action levels and a lighthouse indicator, but that's more part of the Gold and Silver Club indicators. Okay, fantastic. Well, let's have a look at the news ahead. Obviously, fundamentals is important as well. We want to know what key news is going to be moving these markets today and over the course of the next week. So let's bring you back. Okay, fantastic. So we want to look at the week ahead. So key events looking forward. So we've got on Tuesday, the 26th of February, 3 o'clock, US new home sales. For those of you who just want a bit more detail on that, the new home sales measures the annualized number of new single-family homes that were sold during the previous month. So the report tends to have more impact when it's released ahead of existing home sales because the reports are tightly correlated, as you can imagine. So a higher than expected reading should be taken as bullish for the USD, and you really want to know exactly what the US dollar index is doing. If you do have access to that chart, it's very important because all the other forex pairs that you may be trading, or gold and silver, will be inversely correlated to the US dollar index. So US dollar index is rallying, you'll see other markets selling off against it, which are paired to the USD, as I'm sure all of you know already. Okay, so that's an important announcement because the USD is correlated to gold price. On Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. we have the UK GDP. That measures the annualized change in the inflation adjusted value of all goods and services produced by the economy. So it's going to affect the pound dollar a lot. It's the broadest measure of economic activity and the primary indicator of economic health. Higher than expected reading should be taken as bearish for the GBP, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as bullish for the GBP. And depending on where the levels are next week, if it's nearer to that longer term support, really interested to see if this key news does have a retest of support, or whether we can get a rally from the lows. It'll be quite interesting to watch. Next Wednesday, 3:30 p.m. US durable goods. So that measures the change in the total value of new orders for long-lasting manufactured goods. So that's excluding transportation items. So a higher than expected reading indicates increased manufacturing activity. So a higher than expected reading could be taken as bullish for the USD, and a lower than expected reading could be taken as bearish for the USD. Okay, and the other important news announcements we've got later on in the week, so then we're followed by US GDP, so that's going to be very important as well. That measures the annualized change in inflation adjusted value of goods and services produced by the economy. That's the broadest measure of economic activity in the primary indicator of the US's health. So a higher than expected reading should be taken as bullish for the US dollar, while a lower than expected reading is taken as bearish. Then next Friday we're going to have a lot of news coming out on the Friday. Chinese manufacturing PMI, very important for your if you're keeping over any swing trades going overnight. So that is the index, provides an early indication each month of economic activities in the Chinese manufacturing sector. So every month questionnaires are sent to over 700 manufacturing enterprises all over China, and the data represented purchasing activities and supply situations. Okay, so the higher than expected reading should be taken as bullish for the Chinese yen, while a lower than expected reading should be taken as bearish. Okay, and finally Friday, the big one, US non-farm payroll at 1:30 measures the US unemployment change, the number of people employed, and that's an important indicator of consumer spending. You all know that's a really big announcement next Friday, 1:30. Higher than expected readings should be taken as bullish for the USD, and a lower than expected reading should be taken as bearish for the USD. Obviously also, you want to be watching your technicals as well, and this is important because the USD is correlated to gold price. Okay, excellent. So what we will do, that's the key news really that you want to be looking out for next week. And in terms of actually getting additional information, I can see a lot of you on the call. Take advantage of this already. Great to see lots of you, lots of familiar faces on the call. So to request information on our gold, silver, and forex trader coaching program, you can simply go to www.thegoldandsilverclub.com/course form, or you can obviously contact us at office@thegoldandsilverclub.com. and you can telephone us on 0207 193 0403, our UK office, or our Asia Pacific office on 852 8191 0403 for those of you located in Asia. Yeah, so very simply, if you want to get more information, you can just go on to Learn to Trade on our website, and you can just fill out this this form to get additional information. And of course, make sure you subscribe to our newsletter. That's a free weekly newsletter, thegoldandsilverclub.com, so you get gold, silver, commodity currency news, live market analysis and prices. Do also take advantage of the live market analysis on the website as well. Okay, fantastic. Right, so guys, we're that comes right up to the end now, so it's now 11:30. I wish you all a fantastic week's trading, and great to see lots of familiar faces on today's call. If you've got any questions at all, do get in touch with us. Otherwise, we will catch you at the same time next Friday. Okay, so have a fantastic week. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.